I can't see you or something. Yeah, you're. Fuck, it's not hightail. Never mind.
Okay, cool. I just typed that into Google for no fucking reason. Thanks, Merced.
Yeah, it was actually a bait. Now you're on a list.
We're back. Let's talk about the Game Awards. Listen, it's only been a week since we talked last, but I mean,
Mr. Astrobot, you don't seem very enthused about talking about these Game Awards.
Yeah, your boy won.
I am actually. My boy was, let's be clear, my boy was very clearly Metaphor Refantatio.
You were heavy in the Astrobot camp too, by the way.
I do love Astrobot. This is probably the second best outcome. I mean, I would have been happy if this or Elden Ring won. I was honestly pretty sure that the Elden Ring was gonna.
I thought it was gonna be Elden Ring too. I was convinced, honestly, fully convinced. Especially when Astrobot got Best Direction, I was like, dude. I mean, it's Elden Ring. Like, if they didn't give that to Elden Ring, then it's got to be all right. But anyway,
it's crazy. It's big crazy. So the Geoff Keighley's happened as of the time of this recording, which is on Saturday the 14th. They happened on Thursday, which I believe was the 12th. Is that right? Yeah. And they gave out some awards. I think if I was going to sum up the show in one thing, it's that I fast forwarded through most of it because I got home late and I caught Game of the Year in real time. But even fast forwarding through it, I felt like I wasted my time.
Really?
Yeah. I was not having a good time.
I think this is at least that I can think of in like recent years, this is like one of the Game Awards I've enjoyed the most, just like actually sitting through it. Most of the time I'm just like ready for it to be over. And I did hit that point a few times during this, but every time I was getting there, they would drop something I wanted to see. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm back. You got me. But I'm giving that credit to the reveals and stuff. I think there was a lot of good trailers this time. The awards themselves, like, is whatever, I feel like they're still not really nailing how they do all the like in between awards and stuff like that. It's like even they're like, let's get through these next trailer.
I don't know how I don't know what a better way would be. Because otherwise that show is going to be like 8 hours long.
Right. Yeah.
They need
I think this was close to perfect. I think they're almost there.
They need to just do it like, I don't know, like a convention. Let's just have 2 days. Let's do a 2-day thing. Let's have a one all-day trailer day and then just an awards night. You know what I mean? That's just like,
I don't think that'll work. Nobody will watch night 2.
I guess. I mean, but the problem is that night 1 pays for night 2. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that if you're there for the awards, then the trailers are nice to have, but we're people who would watch both. And I think there are people who would watch both. And I do think that they could do the awards in a way that makes them less, I don't know, sidelined, but whatever. I mean, listen, the goal is not that. The goal is for them to legitimize video games in the world of celebrity and like art forms, like film, that just feels cloying. We've talked about this before. We don't need to fucking talk about again how we feel about Geoff Keighley as a persona and how I fucking hate that he insists on still wearing skinny jeans and sneakers with like a velvet suit jacket. Drives me fucking crazy, man. It's 2024. It's not 2014 anymore. We can move on. Let's do this in 2 parts, much like how they should do the show. Let's do the announcements now. Let's talk about that stuff real quick, and then we'll go over the award winners.
So, I just want to. Do you want to go in a particular order?
Not really. Give me give me your favorite something you thought was stupid, and then like a surprise, I guess, that you liked, and then we can go from there. If there's anything else we need to cover, then we can do it that way.
I honestly only wrote down 2 things in terms of reveals I wanted to talk
Even
about.
better.
There's plenty of things to talk about, but yeah, I just honed it into 2. So however y'all want to play it, I can talk about it.
Go ahead. Just kick us off, man. I don't give a shit.
Sweet. So I want to start with Elden Ring. And me and Merced have kind of bounced some thoughts, but I haven't heard your opinion on it or even what you really know about it. I've looked into it a lot now, so I have a lot to say. But what was your impressions and what do you even know about it post the trailer?
What do I know about it? I know that there was a trailer and that it is intended to be a co-op Elden Ring roguelike thing, and that's literally all I know.
Okay.
I saw someone online talking about how they read somewhere that it's only 1 or 3 players. There's no 2-player, which I thought was a strange thing and didn't bother to verify. But
yeah, I'm not sure.
I saw somebody saying that, and I was like,
that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's just people bouncing that around.
Yeah,
no 2-player seems like kind of wacky.
That seems very strange. Like that would be hard to believe.
None of the stuff I've looked into has mentioned that, but it's maybe because they're just focusing on the fact that it is a co-op based experience anyway. So the idea is probably for you to have 3 people. And I wonder if you can queue with randoms or if you have to pre-made lobby it. But anyway,
so
it doesn't matter.
What we're talking about is Elden Ring Night Rain. And I would like to just quickly say before you get into the details that you know about it. I thought the trailer, outside of the fact that it's Elden Ring, was not very good at all. Like, it was not hype.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you there. It's the only thing it had going for it was the shock value that it was a new Elden Ring. Other than that, it's like, what the fuck is this? And that's sort of in my notes a little bit. It's like initially I'm like, I don't even know that I want this. Like, I'm excited about From Software, anything, Elden Ring, anything, like just a baseline. That's probably true for me. But even watching the trailer, I'm mostly confused. And I'm like, what am I looking at? What is this supposed to be? And why are they making this? But now that I've looked into it a little bit more, I am actually a little bit excited about it. We'll see how it all plays out. But so it's essentially, going to be a drop into the map, pick a class, drop into the map, and it's like a roguelike condensed Elden Ring From Soft combat experience. Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird, right? But so I was thinking about it, and one of the things I really like to go back to, like in terms of video games, is FromSoft games. And one of the only reasons I might not do that is because it is kind of like a whole thing. If I'm like, yeah, I'm really in the mood for Elden Ring right now, and I boot up my game, it's like, okay, I'm at the end of this playthrough. Everything's already done. I guess I can start a whole new playthrough. And then it's like, but what am I doing? If like what I really have the itch for is I just want to hop in and like enjoy this combat that they've created, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems like they're creating something for people like me, honestly, is the best way I can think about it. Is like the only thing, like literally a week ago I was thinking I wanted to play Elden Ring. I just didn't want to boot it up and do any of the things that Elden Ring is offering me. Like, I don't want to start the DLC again. I don't want to start a whole new playthrough and like go through all the motions. And I don't know. I don't want to do any of that. Yeah. But I wish I could just jump in with my friends and be like, yeah, let's fucking play. Like, I'll play mage. You'll play fucking warrior. He'll play the rogue. Like,
to me,
we'll hop in.
It's kind of like, as you're saying this, I was thinking about this at the time too. It is them legitimizing their gameplay refinements in a real way. Like, I do feel like Dark Souls and Elden Ring games have always played well, like for what they're trying to achieve. But Bloodborne, all that, like they all have slightly different styles. Sekiro. But the reality is that the gameplay has always been a draw for a large portion of the audience. You know,
me especially. Like a lot of the other stuff, setting and all that, is just set dressing for what I really enjoy, which is the game.
So it's like, okay, let's, much like the arena kind of patch update they did for Elden Ring, it's them saying,
Yes.
here is an easier way to get this thing that people are asking for. Because there were always arenas in previous Souls games. If you got into the PvP community, and
that's the thing, those were PvP.
Yeah, well, right, exactly. But what I'm saying is just, in a similar way, like, there's always been arenas. Pontiff Sullivan's fucking Porsche in his backyard after you beat him was like the popular Dark Souls 3 spot where everybody put their signs down and would just fight club it up. Same deal here with co-op. There's always been co-op. There's been ways to, like, people would mod or find ways to play through the whole game co-op together, right? I think it's cool that they're legitimizing that. They're taking the gameplay heavy focus. I have a lot of questions around what the story of this could be like, because it doesn't seem very From Software-ish to me to just have a roguelike with no story. Like, there's going to be something, right?
Yeah.
What's
weird,
I've
looked into that a little bit too. Go on.
You might have something on this as well, but
yes,
the thing that stood out to me immediately in this trailer is, and From Software games share very similar designs and they share art styles in some kind of way, broadly speaking. A dragon can only look so different, even in different developers and different franchises. But the Nameless King was in this trailer.
Yes. And so upon further inspection, he is not the only blatant boss from a previous game. There is a boss from Dark Souls 1, a boss from Dark Souls 2, and Nameless King.
Okay.
And then also the Fire Link Shrine Keeper from 3 as well.
I did notice that. Yeah, she's at the end.
So there's a lot of clear, like, that is the boss from a previous game. And so what they're doing lore-wise, the lore reasoning here is that, and I think honestly the biggest confusing part of this for a lot of people on the outside looking in is that it's called an Elden Ring game, and really it shouldn't be, because what's going on here is this place where we're playing is like some stupid ass bullshit like fractured reality thing where stuff from other worlds is getting pulled in, and I don't know that there will be an actual story here. I just don't know, but that is just what it is. It is a fractured reality where other stuff is getting pulled in, and that's why the map itself is all fractured and going to be random every time. It's like, yeah, that's their lore reason. It's just
I get what you're saying, but I mean,
jumbled reality, but it's not a real,
To be fair, I do think Elden Ring has kind of always been that, right? They were just less obvious with it. Like, the world, the lands between was always the idea of like some kind of meeting point between different worlds.
And for the super psycho, like tinfoil hat lore people out there, the very last like lore story timeline of events thing that happens in Dark Souls 3 in the DLC is the girl that is doing a painting is painting a new world.
Which would then be Elden Ring and
right. There is reason for the fucking psychos to think that like it's the fucking Elden Ring. Like They're
there's
legitimizing fucking dots to connect, but I'm not
funny.
The guy that's trying to rationalize why they're doing it with lore. I'm the guy that's hoping the game is going to be fucking fun. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole, but I have, seen the dots in the fucking Charlie Day fucking pointing at the map.
Well, that's
it's there.
I guess that's what's frustrating about this is that they could have just as easily thrown in different boss designs and made this a whole new thing. Hold on.
That's the thing.
Let me just finish this point, because what you're saying, I'm agreeing with you. What you're saying is they are finding a kind of frustrating way to legitimize the people who, by the way, all along, like, these people have always existed with every Souls game. They're like, Bloodborne's in the Dark Souls universe. If you find this one guy with a helmet who kind of looks like the guy from Dark Souls 1.
And they're never not going to put the Moonlight Greatsword in a game, and that's always going to be the thing the fucking people point to. That's like,
do you remember in the Dark Souls 1 DLC, there's a guy who says he comes from another time and kind of looks like a Bloodborne hunter?
Oh, dude. So I don't know if you know this about me. I played Dark Souls 1 after Bloodborne and 2 and 3. So when I got to that guy, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? How have I never heard of this guy?
Yeah, it's so funny because, like, there's always been those people who are like, these games are all connected, and then you're like, dude, just shut the fuck up. Everybody just relax. Can we just
Yeah.
Does everything have to be a multiverse? And then now they're doing it.
We all love tips of the hat, and sometimes it's just that simple, guys. Just enjoy your tip of the hat, enjoy your reference, enjoy your Easter egg, enjoy your throwback, and shut the fuck up and play the game. But yeah, anyway, all that being said, I was actually like kind of ass mad about it a little bit, just a little bit. I do, what it all boils down to for me is if it's fun, I'll play it, and that's all I care about. But it's like, why are they doing so many old assets? Like, what's the point? And then I started really watching the breakdowns, and there's so much new shit here that I'm honestly not even mad anymore. Like, it's pretty so much new combat stuff for your player to use, like new, not just it looks different. Like, this is new animations, new assets. There's so many new bosses with new assets and animations. Like, there's a lot of new stuff here.
At the early part that they show that guy running alongside someone who's flying, that person flying, I'm pretty sure, is a player. Like, that's a player ability.
Yeah, we can fly. Yeah. Like, we have like a, I don't know, eagle fucking Breath of the Wild, like glider thing. Yeah.
And then they jump on and then they're carrying the other person while they're flying.
Yeah.
Like all that shit. So, it seems really cool what they're doing.
Yeah. So there's going to be 8 classes, and each of them have different things that they can do. Like, they all have their own unique ultimate. And then like one of them has the bird and shit like that. They all have their own unique things. And then I just thought of something kind of funny that I'm sure people have already said. Are they making a Monster Hunter right now? I have heard that kind of thrown around, but it's so roguelike-esque that I think people aren't looking at it that way. Yeah. But it's like, if it wasn't a roguelike, yeah, basically. Because you load in, you pick your class, you load in, you do all the stuff for your night 1. There's 3 nights, or day 1. So day to night, it completes, you fight a boss, you go back to Firelink Shrine, you buy permanent unlocks and Fashion Souls stuff and stuff like that. Then you go to night 2, do it again, night 3, do it again, and then there's a final boss. And then after that, runs complete, you go back to Firelink Shrine, upgrade your character for more permanent unlocks, and then you can do it all again. But I'm assuming, kind of similar to other roguelikes, it's like, once you hit a certain threshold, then the rest of the game is harder too, and you get a harder like roster of bosses.
Or it's probably like there's a level gauge per class, so like you're leveling up those classes, and then like that scales with the difficulty in some way. So then like if you wanted to do a different class, you go back down, and then it's not as hard with that class.
Exactly. Right. So there's that, and then I know that there's like a thing that's like, let's say you fully complete all 3 nights and beat the final boss of the thing. Then you essentially hit like your tier 2, and I forget how many tiers there are, but there's like however many main tiers until you hit the final boss, and then have like completed it and gotten all the lore and cutscenes and seen everything.
What do we think about the name?
Dog shit. The name, like I said, it's like I think the worst thing about this is that it's going to be called an Elden Ring game, and Night Rain is fucking retarded. Like,
it has to be called an Elden Ring game though.
For money,
it's like literally Elden Ring. So
yeah, I guess
they literally have to call it Elden Ring, otherwise it's like the most obvious copy paste you've ever seen in your life.
It's
this way they have not even plausible deniability, but they have like Rain to be able to be like, it is Elden Ring, so just chill out, everybody. We're gonna be reusing all this shit again.
It's just so different. And then also feature stuff from the other games that I'm just like, y'all really could have come up with something else. But I agree, for marketability at least, Elden Ring is the best choice.
With the map and everything, that shit was all Elden Ring, was it?
Yeah,
not?
It was. It looked like
all Elden
Ring. They could be hiding a lot of stuff,
so
by the way.
That's another thing. There is a lot more map variety than they show in the trailer. Like a decent bit. I won't make it sound like there's like a crazy amount, but they basically show like not Limgrave in the trailer the most. But if you really watch the breakdown of the trailers, they show multiple areas that are not just Limgrave that will all have their own randomized variations, and then also have different, like, I forget what they called it now, but like, let's say you're going to get Limgrave as your day 1. Each area also has random options for like effects that can be in place for the area. Like, I think one was called like Meteor something. So I'm assuming either a meteor will land or landed before you load in and has affected the area in some way or something like that. So stuff like that too.
I mean, if they're going whole hog with the collapsed worlds thing, then I can only assume they will do it with the environment. Right? I mean, they have to be. So like at some point you're going to load in and you're going to be just in Yharnam, and it's going to be.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I mean, like this is why I have a problem with it being called Elden Ring, because I can see the writing on the wall. If this has post-launch support at all, you know they're going to do stuff like
if they do it, if they're going to do this, and I'm already annoyed that they're doing this, but I mean, not for a gameplay reason, by the way. I think this would be fun for us to play together. Like
that's
I'm looking
all
forward
I
to
care
it.
about is I just want to have fun. Yeah, like everything else, I'm like, God.
I think it'll be really fun, but I am annoyed that they're doing it this way. However, if they are going to do it this way, they just need to fucking go all out at this point.
I don't think they're going to do Yharnam. I don't think that they're going to do any of the other games.
They should.
I think it's just I think it's literally only going to be the Elden Ring assets, and that's it. I don't think they're going to be doing anything else.
That's possible.
That is possible, but I mean,
why would they pull in? They don't have any. They made new bosses, so they have no reason to pull in bosses from the other games other than they wanted to do that.
Unless
they aren't broke. They're not hurting for
the only
money.
The only thing I can think,
they wanted to include old assets.
It would be
that
so
means
funny.
They maybe want to include.
It would be so funny if they rename all of those bosses and just go, I don't know, guys.
Now that would be pretty cringe. But they've already said those things are getting pulled from the other. They've literally already said it. So
okay, I mean,
if they're called other things, that would be worse, in my opinion, than it just being.
It just does. I don't know, with the way that they did like all the bosses and stuff in the original Elden Ring and core Elden Ring, it just feels like them bringing in bosses from the other games is just like, yeah, like they're just gonna reuse the bosses from the older games. I didn't really think much else other than that. I was just that's about par for the course now, and at this point at least.
Right. And that's the thing too, is this is something they've always kind of done, and it's either you like it or you don't. I don't really get bothered when I see the Asylum Demon again in another fucking FromSoft game. I'm just like, oh yeah, of course. And I know in the back of my mind, there's enough new content here that is fresh, new animations, new assets, that I'm like, it's okay if they reuse this guy again, because I know the new stuff is worth it. And I feel the same way about this. What is interesting, though, is that they're choosing to make it Nameless King. They're choosing to make it the whatever fucking caterpillar, stupid fucking all the other shit. I saw a meme though that's like the final boss is going to be Consort Radon on top of Beta Chaos.
Hell yeah, dude!
It was the best meme ever, and I would never do that. I would kill myself.
It would be interesting if they did because like if you've ever seen people play like Dark Souls or Elden Ring randomizers for bosses that have two phases, they will just be like a straight up different boss sometimes. So like. In Elden Ring, the randomizer mod, you could fight a boss in was it Rolana or Renala?
She has two phases. Yeah.
Which one is which though? I can't remember.
They both have two phases. Anyway, I don't remember now.
Anyway, the one who's in the magic school, you fight her, and then she has a second phase where you teleport into the fucking outer spaces zone, and she does all that shit. One guy was fighting, I don't remember what the first boss was, but it was really funny because then they got teleported into the outer space zone and it was Rykard in there instead, and it's just ridiculous shit. So it'd be cool if they did stuff like that for this as well, just two-phase bosses or remixed bosses that are that's the cool thing about FromSoft is you have such a strong gameplay base that they could really just go buck wild with all the puzzle pieces here.
Yes,
which I would like to see. So,
and it's I said this to Merced the other night, but it still feels weird to see a game like this being made from FromSoft. It still feels weird, but I have faith they don't miss, right? When's the last time they put out something that I thought was a bad product? Even if
Sekiro.
I didn't. Yeah, but it's not a bad product. You know what I mean? I might not ever finish that game, but I respect and appreciate it, and it is quality.
Yeah, you're right. And I still am going to go back to that one day. That's going to happen.
Yeah, fair enough. But I don't know. It's just I trust them. They have not let me down yet. They have not Bethesda'd me. They have not Blizzarded me. So
yeah, it's true.
I'm here for it. If this is a new era where they do spin-offs, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Just let them be good.
What are we good on this? I feel like for now we can. You got anything else,
not much
Merced?
to say.
Yeah.
Not for me. It looks fun. I'll just say that it looks fun.
It does.
I'm just cautious. I'm incredibly cautious with the way that they've revealed everything so far. But yeah,
I would like to see it. I would like to see more. I am, but the chance of me playing, I mean, there's it's 100%. I'm already in. I just want to know how much I'm going to like it. That's all. But there's no world in which I do not at least give this a shot. Right.
Did they have a release date? I didn't even see.
2025.
Year,
it just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So no.
Okay.
I'm betting into the year, probably November time.
Yeah, summer, end of the year. Yeah. I genuinely think it's like one of these things where it's something I didn't know was missing in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like a way to just jump in and fuck around in the Dark Souls combat experience and then just hop out casually and not have to be invested in a full run.
Yeah.
And do all the stuff where it's like, you join my world, we'll beat the boss, and I'll join your world, we'll go do the whole thing again. And then, it's just
How
like,
funny is it going to be if you still have to summon people once you load into Night Rain?
Yeah, no, definitely not from what I've read, but that would be hilarious.
They'll find a way to make it awkward.
If they have a lobby system now, holy fuck.
I would be shocked too. I mean, they'll probably have like a PvP thing in this. I mean, I would bet like they'll probably have like invasions or something. No.
Interesting. So the trade out for invasion, there's no PvP directly, but when you die, your character, like when your run is over, the character with all his gear and stats will get put into another player's world as like a NPC
phantom
boss
That's
to
pretty
fight.
Funny.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, and then you get, I think, one of their items or maybe all their items or some sort of loot. But
Merced, what was the thing that stood out the most to you?
The creator of Shadow of the Colossus.
I knew
showing off his newest game, bro.
I knew that this is where this was going.
And I don't know what the fuck kind of Evangelion / Shadow of the Colossus thing that they're going for. That was like pretty fucking wild to see.
Yeah, getting the
this
fucking
dude
robot.
like literally crawl into a mecha robot head via Shadow of the Colossus climbing, and then get inside of it and then shoot off before I guess the world was ending or whatever. I don't know.
Something, bro. Yeah,
I have no clue what the fuck was going on. And there was like a whatever the fuck AI speaker for the kid where it was like telling him, like counting down, letting him know what was going on. I don't know, but the thing about that game is it is going to be like the mind of the game is still going to be Fumito Ueda, which is awesome. But from what we know, Team Ico as a group is completely disbanded. So this is going to be completely published by Epic with their internal team, whoever the fuck they decide to hire for that. Hopefully it was a few members of Team Ico still around for this. But he'll still be the brain mastermind behind it. So I'm just I'm a little bit cautious because it really honestly, like Shadow of the Colossus as a game being like my favorite of all time, like it's a sum of all of its parts, right? And it's not just Fumito, it's not just him. It was the team as well. Yeah. So we'll see. But I mean, I'm still I'm hype as fuck, dude. This is gonna be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I knew this would be the thing for you because as soon as it popped up with Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, like from the designer of or whatever, I was just like, all right, yeah, hell yeah, I will for sure give it a run. Even though I never did play The Last Guardian, but
same. I played the VR demo and that blew my mind. So shame that didn't actually get made.
What about for you, Chandler? What was your favorite thing that you got?
Man, I mean, I actually think there's a lot of announcements that were interesting to me in particular.
There's a lot of stuff.
Even the games that we already knew that existed that they throw in some stuff for. I was pretty excited for, but I'll say obviously just by you guys already know this about me. I love The Witcher, so more Witcher is exciting. We knew that they were already going to make another Witcher game. They had said it multiple times. I thought the trailer,
great trailer,
very very good. I'll say for me, you guys might be surprised by this. I actually thought that Onimusha game looked sick. I was like,
I think, and that's the struggle with why I honed it down to two things, is because I think honestly a lot of this stuff looked really cool, and we could easily sit here for a while and break down the whole fucking
totally
thing, because
I mean,
there's a lot of cool reveals, and I'm pretty excited for the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, like, that was the thing that, like, totally unexpected, honestly, totally unexpected, and left an impression on me. Like, I was thinking about it for the next day afterwards, like going, wow, man, yeah, that would be really cool. Like, because
that's me with the thing behind me, dude. I cannot stop thinking about it.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about that, because that's probably the big thing for everybody. It was like the last reveal, I think, right?
Yeah. So did you get to see that reveal live, or did you like walk away and watch it later?
I watched. I mean, I fast forwarded through a lot of stuff, but I think I came like right
after Game of the Year, I think, right?
It was right after or right before, but yeah, I did. Yeah. I caught this one in real time, and so you're talking about, of course,
Intergalactic.
Yeah, which, by the way,
why Heretic do they Prophet?
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys.
Intergalactic alone would have been
fine, just fine.
Chef's kiss.
Everybody has to put a fucking colon on something. I think it's because they need to copyright it or trademark it or whatever, and they don't.
That's actually fair. Honestly,
you can't do that with Intergalactic, but still, I mean,
it's pretty annoying too. I've been searching Intergalactic here lately. Either I want to look up more about it, I want to see the trailer again, whatever, and it always pulls up the song or the album or whichever it is by whatever their fuck their name is. Anyway, so fair enough. Honestly, they probably did need to do.
But the title does suck. Let's be real. They could have just gone with. I think Intergalactic is fire. Also.
I think Intergalactic.
Oh yeah, Intergalactic's fine.
I'm going to call it.
Or the Heretic Prophet on its own. Together, it's like a mouthfeel nightmare. Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. You're like, what the fuck is going on here?
I hear you. Everybody's going to call it Intergalactic, though, and that's a great name, so it's fine. But damn, this thing is oozing with fucking style and shine and quality and polish. Like, oh god, I want to touch it all so bad. And then have y'all watched this trailer non on the stream, but like watched it the 4K like fully like high quality version? Because holy fuck, this game looks good. If this is all in engine, like that little bit at the end where she goes with the sword, like that looks so good in 4K 60 frames. Like I'm so fucking excited to play this. In theory, asterisk.
Yeah, I mean, everything about it, this is Naughty Dog, right? I mean, no one expects anything less than the best in terms of storytelling and animation. The thing for me that's funny is everybody used to make fun of Hideo Kojima by being like, bro, just make a fucking movie already. You know what I mean? Like, this very much is like Neil Druckmann. Come on, dude. Who are you fooling? Give up the shtick. You want to be in Hollywood so fucking bad. Watching the like after episode stuff of The Last of Us is just like he's like, and I'm here too, guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like everybody, come on, dude.
But at the same time, and I'm genuinely asking y'all this, both of you right now, don't y'all want these games though? Don't y'all want someone to make these super immersive, cinematic, like high level storytelling, like
for sure,
character driven, like.
Don't get me wrong. I love.
I could play Night Rain for the rest of my life, but I love shit like.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I like all kinds of games. I do love. Right, I love The Last of Us Part 1, and I really like Part 2 as well. I mean, for me it was too long, but I mean, I think. Yeah, sure. I mean, whatever, but still not that fun at the end. But I do think like. For me, I get frustrated when it's like a big reveal is so early. This is going to be like a 2026, maybe even 27 game. And they're just showing a CG trailer, which looks amazing, which looks, the performances are good. The writing, as always, I mean, say what you will about their style at this point is pretty well honed in. This feels a little bit more Uncharted dialogue to me than The Last of Us. Obviously, the tone is a bit more Uncharted, space bounty hunter and whatnot. But I mean, this the only thing this does for me is go, yep, Naughty Dog's doing their thing. That's cool. Totally into it.
Absolutely.
If I was gonna have like and one more thing, by the way, I would love it to be something that is coming a bit sooner than this, I would say. But other than that, it's a great trailer. There's obviously going to be a lot of celebrities in it. Kumail Nanjiani is right there in the screen, even though they don't mention him at all. I feel like there was somebody else who was like a big name, but I don't. I mean,
all three of the faces we see, I feel like are. Or you mean someone else mentioned that's not?
I don't remember now, but yeah, I mean, who is the lady with the eye patch? Was that somebody?
I want to say she's someone from Last of Us. I could be wrong on that.
Oh, okay, okay.
But I can't remember now. I looked it up earlier.
That's cool.
Either way, I hear you, and I actually said that a few times throughout the Game Awards in general. It's just like, man, so tired of seeing these not gameplay trailers. Am I right, boys? But this is something where it's like, this is what I want from Naughty Dog in a couple different ways. Like Last of Us, I think, is a masterpiece and great and awesome, but there's a part of me that was always like, this isn't what I want from Naughty Dog, though. And while it's great and I love it, it's not my fetish, I guess, whereas like sci-fi and space and fucking this is like me. Like, this is exactly what I want. I mean, and then even going back to Uncharted, similar stuff. It's like great games, but this is not like for me. And then you go back further to Jack and Daxter and Crash. Those are more my vibe, just super old now. Like, it's, I don't want them to make that game again, but them not doing a shooter, them doing something that seems like it's going to be closer to their roots, further away from Last of Us. Fuck yeah. I don't know. I'm so in. I mean,
I just kept thinking the whole time, like, everybody's always like, boo-hoo CG trailer, like just what you were saying, like, no gameplay trailers, blah, blah, blah. But it is very much the meme where it's like, hey, you look beautiful today. And then, it's like a hot guy and she's like, oh, you're so sweet. And it's like, you look beautiful today. And it's like, HR, it's literally that meme. It's like, this game, because it's Naughty Dog, because people already kind of assume it's going to be a higher level of quality. It's a studio that everybody knows and generally likes, unless you're like a weird guy who hates The Last of Us Part 2. Then everybody kind of already assumes a bar of quality with this. So it's literally just, gravy, right? Getting to see it in action right now. So yeah, I there's, again, not much more to say, but I do think it is interesting that they're doing a new IP. I'm happy about that.
Yes.
I'm happy about that. I'm happy that they're not just going back to the well on Uncharted or The Last of Us. I'm happy that they're not.
Jack 5.
The one thing, well, they didn't do they did do Jack, didn't they?
There's a racing game or something, right? That's a 4.
There's Jack X Combat Racing.
Yeah, but I totally forgot that they did Jack and Daxter. That's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They didn't mention that in the.
They did, from the creators of Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Daxter.
Okay, they did throw it in there. Okay, they threw it in there. That was what was funny to me, was they started with Crash Bandicoot, which leads me to believe that there's some weird voodoo happening here, where there's a version of reality where they end up going back to those franchises and doing something. Well,
they have been re-releasing them, and they've got like the Insane Trilogy, all that stuff.
That was Activision.
Yeah.
That was not Naughty Dog.
So but is Naughty Dog owned by Sony? I guess they are. I guess they are at this point, huh?
They are a Sony studio for sure.
Okay. Well, then I guess it's impossible.
And Activision is owned by
Microsoft, right? But I mean, I guess are they really owned by Sony? I guess they are.
First party studio.
Yeah, I kind of forgot, and it started a long time ago too. So
yes,
yeah. I mean, that's what's interesting to me, is they led with Crash Bandicoot, which is weird. First of all, I
think they just they went in order. But I see what you're saying, because I had a similar thought.
I mean, they don't always do that, right? I mean, that's
they would typically go with the most
popular.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think they really only mentioned it because it's in the zeitgeist at this point with all the re-releases.
That's
and
true.
Stuff.
That's true.
So,
and everybody has a lot of nostalgia for it.
I think there's another reason too. They, in the blog post, I think, kind of mentioned they were, like, in terms of gameplay, going to be going closer to like their roots in terms of platforming, action, like third person action, stuff like that. So, and then the whole vibe with the like retro future, it's like, I think it's kind of just by design of the trailer. It goes Crash Bandicoot, in order, and then after the reveal of the title, it does the old school Naughty Dog logo and the old school PlayStation logo.
Here's something
so I think
that
it's just by design of the vibe of the trailer.
No, I mean, you're totally right. And also, I mean, it's the 30th anniversary of PlayStation.
Right, exactly.
They're leading into that.
It's time to celebrate. Yeah.
What I was just thinking is it's kind of funny. They're doing that Last of Us 2 re-release or remaster or whatever, which I did not even realize wasn't on PC already.
Yeah, that's what everybody said.
I had a moment where I was like, they never released that. But what was really funny was I just thought about if they to do The Last of Us Part 1, did they have to license the Crash Bandicoot? Oh no, that was Uncharted 4. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah. That's weird, right? Like, when did Uncharted 4 come out, and when did? Well, I guess it was Activision at that point, so they would have had to have licensed Crash Bandicoot from Activision.
I have no
when it was
idea.
In the Uncharted, because remember, there's that section.
I know what you're tapping into. I just don't have the answers.
Where you play Crash Bandicoot, so they would have had to have been like, "Daddy, Activision, please let us use Crash Bandicoot in our video game," even though we invented it. Like, it's just weird. The business of video games,
and maybe it's just that simple.
Strange.
It's just like, hey, we made this. Do y'all care if we just? And then it's like, yeah, dude, go ahead. Like, it could have been that simple.
God,
just a simple.
But there's no way Bobby Kotick was turning down money. I mean, he was like, how much are you willing to pay, little boy?
Yeah, you might be right.
You want your own video
game?
You're
gonna let me touch?
Yeah, exactly. My buddy Epstein's locked up. I got to find a new one. God, he's all in those flight logs. Bobby Kotick is getting out there.
You think so?
For legal purposes, I have to say that this is a joke.
Allegedly.
Probably not, actually. He's probably a really boring business guy, which is a shame. Okay.
Yeah, most of my excitement just came from like, oh, this is what they decided to do, and they fucking nailed it.
Yeah,
like,
yes.
Just visually, they fucking nailed it.
Let's run through some other ones really quick so we can get to the award stuff. Okami, obviously cool that they're doing it. Love the style of the trailer. I think it's funny how many people out there like. I mean, Okami was a good game when it came out. Everybody agreed, but it obviously didn't sell that well. Or however well Capcom needed it to sell,
Yeah, not commercially successful.
But what is it? Amaterasu? Amaterasu has been in so many Okami properties since then, and like anything to do with anything.
We'll just throw in an Okami skin to anything.
Yeah. So it's pretty funny that everybody's treating this like a big return. I mean, it is cool that they're making another game, but it's like, dog.
I think it had a lot of, success.
Yeah.
After the fact.
Sure.
I mean, they did re-releases of it throughout the years too.
Yeah, they did.
On the Wii and then on the PS4.
But that's what I mean. So is like, it's not like Okami's been gone from our consciousness forever. You know what I mean? Like, they've been drip feeding it to us over the last 15 years.
Yeah. And I mean that's Capcom's MO. They are literally the kings of, we're gonna re-release this old thing that didn't do well to test the waters, and if the reception is well around it, we're gonna bring it back. Like, that is their MO all the time.
Yeah, kind of funny to me, but I mean,
I'm here for
how many people?
We're literally in the best timeline.
Is this going to be like a Morpheus thing, or was it Morpheus? Yeah, was this going to be like a Morpheus thing where they release Okami 2 and then no one buys it again?
Probably, yeah. That is exactly what will happen.
Oh my god, dude! Because nobody bought the game from that studio, Kinetsugami, this year. I mean, that game clearly didn't do well, and that's a fucking.
It really all depends on It depends on how they market it, right? Didn't the original Okami sell pretty well or no?
I mean, I don't not enough. Let's put it that way. Like I think at that time, Okami was like Square Enix, where they had pretty high expectations. I literally have to go to Google Docs right now and type in Kunitsugami into our Game of the Year discussion document because I fucking forgot. That's how sad this is that
That's how good this year was for games.
nobody even gives a fuck that Kunitsugami came out this. I don't even remember what the subtitle. It's like Way of the Goddess or Path of the Goddess. Path of the Goddess, I bet. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck Capcom. Anyway.
I'm like,
No,
it's just
you.
like, it's just like when it comes to Okami, I'm like so outside of like the normie brain because I can't imagine like seeing some pretty good marketing for like Okami 2. Even
Yeah.
if they wanted to just market it as its own standalone thing, not even like, oh, this is a sequel to another thing, just to
Right.
make it a little bit more palatable to people who aren't turned away by sequels and stuff,
Yeah.
or are turned away by sequels. I can't imagine like seeing that style of game and not being like, I'm fucking interested. Like this shit looks fucking good.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
But-
I think they'll probably avoid calling it Okami 2. They'll probably do like Okami and then a subtitle or something. Or
That's what I'm
Probably,
thinking. Yeah.
yeah.
but what did we all think about the Crimson Desert thing that they devoted a lot of time to? And I
Glad we know when it's coming. And
Okay.
there was some pretty cool stuff in that trailer, but I just want to play it more than I want to see more of it. So
yeah,
I think it looks awesome. We saw a lot of things in that trailer that we hadn't seen
Mhm.
in
Yep.
previous trailers. So yeah, I mean from what they've shown so far, it really feels like they have taken everything that they learned from Black Desert and they're like, let's just make a fucking action game.
Yeah.
It really truly feels like you're like living in a world.
right.
I was actually in my mind, I was thinking like, dude, is this game gonna mog Dragon's Dogma 2? Like that's in my mind, that's what I was thinking. Because it really feels like they are trying to go for
does
this
feel like
like
that.
high fantasy, grounded action,
Yep.
like grounded high octane action. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, anytime I fucking see any more Crimson Desert, I'm always like, I'm ready for this shit to come out.
Yes.
The only gripe that I will have with this game is that you do have to play that character with no character customization whatsoever. That's the only gripe I have with that game so far. It just seems so out of place that like Pearl Abyss is like, yeah, this thing that was like the number one main seller for our MMO, like we're just not even gonna have this in our main game at all.
I see now. My perspective is that's not why I'm interested in Black Desert, or what I think about when I think about Black Desert is not character customization. So I'm just like brain turned off for
That's
that.
cool, but that was a huge seller for
No,
Black
I see.
Desert.
Yeah, I see.
So
Yeah.
it's very odd that they wouldn't
Right.
have it for their.
It is
their single player
strange
game.
if that's the case. That is weird as fuck.
But
So-
from what I've heard, there is going to be multiplayer where you do have character customization. So
All right, sure. Throw it in. Yeah, with the kitchen sink, everybody. Let's go. Let's make
I
let's
don't know.
let's throw in an MMO as the side mode.
Yeah.
I think they really just wanted to have a single player campaign that was story driven, and the only way they thought that they could do that seamlessly, or the best way that they felt like they could do that, is not to have the character customization
Sure.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, I guess.
Yeah. The last thing I want to talk about at all, it really is Ryu Gagatoku, RGG studio, famously known for Yakuza and all that. Binary Domain, sick ass game. Getting to make a Virtua Fighter. What is it? Just me, or they were not the developers of Virtua Fighter? I mean, well, it's been like what 15 years since a Virtua Fighter came out, but I mean, what?
Wait, they did, didn't they? Or no?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe they tuned up a remaster or something. I have no idea. I mean, I don't really know what. When
Virtua
was-
Fighter 3? Virtua Striker 3.
I
is
don't
what
think
it's called.
I don't think they've done. Virtua Striker is not Virtua Fighter.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think they've done a Virtua Fighter game before. That's kind of weird. So like,
Nope. No, they haven't.
so the last Virtua Fighter game was 5.
Have they
right?
put a Virtua Fighter in a Yakuza?
Now that is a good question. Probably so, I would bet, because all of those Sega arcade games are inside of
Yakuza.
the Yakuza series, so, or Like a Dragon series now. So probably but
So they are handling Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, right?
I don't know what that is. Is that a re-release?
I believe Revo was the one that is a re-release of 5 that is available. The beta is out right now.
Oh, okay. So they're doing the upgrade on 5, because I'm looking at this thing that says the last mainline release was Virtua Fighter 5 in 2006. Holy shit. We were literally like 12 years old the last time a Virtua Fighter game came out. That is fucking insane. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, this is
okay. So they did do Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown for the PlayStation 4.
okay. So the re-release of 5 on the PS4, they also did. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's just very strange.
Yeah,
But the real thing I'm excited about is that Project Century game looks fucking sick as hell that they're working on.
Yes.
That's like a Yakuza beat 'em up that's somehow fucking 20 times more violent and horrific.
It looked crazy.
I was telling Crossley and I was just telling B-Paul like a few minutes ago that trailer has been like stuck in my brain.
Yeah.
Like, it is the most stylish shit out of all the stuff that I ended up seeing.
It's cool.
Like, even for me beating out Intergalactic personally, like it really did stick in my head for since we saw that trailer. I'm excited.
It's an underrepresented really time period as well. Like, early 1900s Asia in video games doesn't get a lot of representation. So okay, let's do awards. Let's just talk about
Did you see who won Best Family Game?
Let's just talk about the ones we care about. No, and I don't care. Who won Best Family Game?
Yeah, look.
Astrobot. Great.
Yeah.
Good.
Keep
I mean,
yourself safe.
what else was gonna win, honestly? So
Jamboree.
Yeah, Mario.
As I said, no, it wasn't, because it's not the best family game. It's the award category isn't family game that weird adults play and love for some reason. The award is
Holy
best
shit.
family game.
Astrobot would have won that award too.
Jamboree,
I don't know what you're trying to argue.
Shambles. Holy. He's got your number. Okay. You are a weird adult if you play those games, by the way. It's true.
Okay, so obviously we did our thing last week where we talked about what we thought was going to win. I think we were actually relatively on point with a lot of this stuff, except for the 2 biggest awards.
Literally.
With Game of the Year
were
and
we?
Game Direction.
Fuck yes.
Because, I mean, obviously Game of the Year, we thought Astrobot was a bit of an underdog. Then I had to remember when they announced the award, I was like, oh yeah, dude, people like Jeff Gerstmann get to decide this shit. And you just know Jeff Gerstmann was creaming in his pants the minute that he started playing Astrobot. So
yeah, you raised a good point that the industry loves Astrobot, and they're probably the people that played it the most. Like, publicly, I don't know many people that have played Astrobot yet. So yeah, no, I mean, fair point.
But I mean, great game. I mean, it would have been fine for any of those games to win. I really didn't want Black Myth to win, because I just
after it got best action game, I agree. It got its flowers.
It did.
In plenty of the awards that night.
It also got the Chinese Assimilation Award.
Oh yeah,
player voice. Yeah. It's like, all right, guys, you had to hop on your VPN to vote for this one. Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, it deserves a couple.
Yeah.
It deserves a couple of
it
awards,
does. I think Black Myth is actually a great game. I mean, it's not something that I think is in the caliber of the other games that were nominated for Game of the Year. Just in terms of the way things shake out in that game, I think. Like, but for it to be the first game from that studio to hit mainstream success, an insane first effort. Best game direction, obviously Astrobot again. Kind of surprised for this one. I really thought that this could go in another direction. I mean, when I think of best game direction, I feel like it does make sense for Astrobot. I would also say that I could see this going
Metaphor.
to Elden Ring or I mean, Metaphor as well. I think the thing about Metaphor that a lot of people have this misconception that it's basically just Persona, which I disagree with because it is quite different.
I think that they just haven't played the game then.
I think that I think that's true. I think that's true.
Yeah. Like I played the demo and I can tell you like
I was really stoked to see Metaphor get best narrative and best art direction. Yep. Two things that I think are really like the best parts of it.
And honestly, and that's crazy because like I mean there's no part of me that's like this writing is gonna suck or any of that. It's just like compared to the other things it's going against this year, it's like it got best narrative. Well, now I want to finish it even more. Like
it's a good one.
It's beating Rebirth. Like
it's a good one. It's a good
that
one.
I'm still thinking about the narrative.
Rebirth got music.
Soundtrack.
Yeah.
Rebirth got music. Rebirth got mogged. Holy.
Yeah.
Nobody played it, bro.
By the way, Rebirth was the most nominated game.
Oh my god! It's embarrassing.
Along with Astrobot, Astrobot and Rebirth were the most nominated games, and they both had 7 nominations each. And it's still.
I really thought that was going to be a strong contender.
It did. It did kind of get fucked over a bit because it was a great game, but obviously people are picking things that excel in specific categories.
And I mean. Maybe I'm speaking for myself here, but it feels like that game came out last year too. Like it came out long ago. All these other games came out after it that we're thinking about more recently. It's just like, yeah.
I've gotten a million years older since that game came out.
I don't think I feel like none of us hit the mark on what the fuck they meant by game direction.
They kind of broke it down during the award, though. It was like the best sum of all parts. Like every piece of the team.
Yeah,
really came together. And I mean, fair enough. Like, yeah.
How am I supposed to be able to evaluate that?
Well, I mean, the easiest way to put this is
quality of the product.
Does the game?
But then that would just be game of the year.
Well, hold on. We talked about this in the podcast last week too. Does the game achieve what it's going for in all aspects? Right, like the sum of its parts. Like, does it achieve what it's going for? The reality is, you could just as easily say something like Balatro wins this, right? Because it's like. Okay, every single component of Balatro is fucking honed to perfection. Same with Astrobot. Elden Ring, pretty close, right? I would say that game also hits every marker that it's trying to hit. There's only a couple of weak spots for me in that. I think Final Fantasy, by virtue of the fact that it is such a widespread game, it's like a game of mini games. It's harder for me to justify in my head that game winning over Metaphor. I could see that game holding its own in this category, right? So Black Myth Wukong is the one that I absolutely do not see hitting this because there's so many things. It's such an amazing game in a lot of ways, but there's so many disparate parts.
They miss the mark in plenty of ways.
They do not mesh together perfectly. So, I mean, I do kind of think that Astrobot makes a lot of sense for that award, but it's funny to see.
To Merced's point. Then it's just game of the year, and it did win both. So it's like, what is
this? I see the distinction there though, because I could have a fuck ton of fun with a game that just didn't do all that great in its respective genre, and then there can be another game that nails its fucking genre to an insane degree.
Totally.
Right.
So yeah, I can see those two.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's best game direction. If I was a judge picking these, I could give that to Astrobot and then give game of the year to something else very easily, right? Like I could, for me, Astrobot,
you had more fun with it just by virtue of
and I like Astrobot and it will be on my list somewhere, but I would not give Astrobot my game of the year personally. But in my head, if I'm like voting on this panel and looking at these categories, I could go, actually I could give it best game direction and that would make sense for me. So because it is just about as close to a 10 in terms of what it's shooting for as you can get. I mean, Astrobot, it's hard to imagine how they could have improved it with the scope and the scale of what they're going for. So, obviously score, I think, was the thing that impacted me the most on Metaphor, that I feel like this is a bit of cheating for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because they're pulling in so many motifs from the old
That's the thing,
game.
It's great music and great re-renditions of it, but
it's Final Fantasy VII music, and on some level they're just...
It was legendary 30 years ago.
We called this out that Hellblade 2 was going to win audio design, and I think obviously it did for good reason. Performance, I think we called this out as well. I think I recall us saying like I could see Brianna White as Aerith because it's a big year for that character, or, obviously neither Crossley or I played Sinuous Saga, but I played Hellblade 1, and I mean, Melinda Juergens was insane
Same
in
chick.
that game. So yeah, I mean, and by the way, I saw a little blurb that said she was the only person to win twice for the same character, which is crazy. So that's pretty interesting.
I thought she was the only person to win it twice, period. Not even for the same character. Just the only person to win the award twice.
I think maybe Troy Baker has won it twice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, probably.
But
I thought they said I could have swore they literally joked that he had never won it.
Oh, maybe that's true.
Yeah, literally Todd Howard made that joke.
You're right. That is right. And then Harrison Ford was there, and I actually kind of thought that was cute the way he said, I would have done it myself, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I liked that. And then strategy, Frostpunk 2, which I think is cool for them. Although Kunitsugami is a better game. I don't even need to play Frostpunk 2 to know that that's true.
Unicorn Overlord, bro. Are you kidding me?
I was actually like, yeah, that's crazy. That's
Sorry,
actually
guys.
fucking insane.
I don't think that game is that great. It's fine.
That game is actually really, really fucking good.
It's an okay.
That's a great game.
I like it. Yeah, sorry.
I was shook. I can't believe Frostpunk, honestly.
I accidentally skipped a few. Independent game and debut indie game, of course, Balatro, which makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Ongoing game, Helldivers 2, which makes no sense at all that it's even in this category, but I mean,
dude,
it's a great
the
game.
guy as he accepted any of the Helldivers awards, he's like, okay, thanks, guys.
All right, everybody, whatever you say.
Yeah.
Community support, Baldur's Gate 3. I'm gonna skip over a few here. Action game we already mentioned was Black Myth Wukong. To me, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
deserved.
Sure.
The action is immaculate.
Astrobot action adventure game. In that category, that makes the most sense. RPG was Metaphor, which I'm thrilled about.
Yes.
Kind of sad to see Like a Dragon not get anything though. But it is a cool game.
I will say it didn't win anything.
I don't think so.
I thought it did, maybe not. But either way, I remember thinking that night it got enough nominees to make me think, I guess I need to play this. I didn't expect it to be in the running like this.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fighting game, Tekken 8, of course. There's going to be no shot there. Multiplayer game, Helldivers 2. To me, makes perfect sense. We're literally gonna go play Helldivers 2 after this. So
yeah, I don't think that there's nothing that came close to it this year.
They released that patch to it, so I think we'll go enjoy that. How'd you guys feel about best adaptation?
What was that? I don't even remember.
Merced, you don't remember,
because I called this out so fucking hard, and you guys did not believe me.
Merced doesn't remember who won the arcane category. That's
that
crazy.
Shit is so fucking garbage.
Yeah. Hasn't watched the show. Tries to have an opinion.
I did watch the show. You giant fucking idiot.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I genuinely didn't know that.
Yeah, it was not as good as Arcane.
I mean,
Chandler hasn't even watched Arcane.
Yeah, to be fair, I agree with Merced. I think Arcane is better than Fallout, but it's obviously the number 2, so I guess better than Knuckles winning, right? But yeah, what? Arcane way better.
That's like normie brain, dude. That is actual.
I went into Fallout thinking that I was going to hate it, and I hated the first episode, and then from there it got just incrementally better. By the end of the season, I was just like, if season 2 starts on the quality of the end of season 1, it's going to be a great show. I mean, I was legitimately like, this is crazy good. I mean, I thought the last 3 episode section of Fallout is as good as any, modern TV show. I mean, I'm not much of a TV guy. I think all of it, man, this is like a whole other conversation. TV is like lowest common denominator entertainment at this point, like across the board. All TV is like just dog shit. I mean, it's all bad, but
okay.
But like, I'm sorry,
Penguin
guys.
was really good.
I hate to be the one to. I'm known
Last
as
of Us was really good.
I'm known as the grumpy one. Again, it's like The Last of Us. Yeah, it's good, but it's also like that hits just above what. And the bar is so low. I mean, the bar for TV is so fucking low. I'm sorry, it just is. I mean,
You know what is really bad?
If you're thinking in like a holistic fashion, I would agree. But I think like for the big bangers that come out every single year, I feel like they're pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I agree with that. There is a lot of dog shit TV, but the good ones are really good.
Totally.
So maybe that's what you're touching on is like the comparison.
Well,
is
yeah,
like, oh, yeah,
exactly. But it's also
they're
like,
still good.
but it's also like for some reason, people will go to bat for shows that are mediocre, like pretty heavy. You know what I mean? Like they will. And I think Fallout escapes that just barely by the end of its season. Like it's just above. And it's so funny that we celebrate that. Like, and it's because it's like we just thought that Fallout was going to be a total mess and a total shit show. But but to me, I think that like for whatever reason, we're just okay with, and this isn't even just gamers anymore. This is just like anybody watching TV. They're just okay with very mediocre shit. And
you didn't watch Arcane.
Do not even ask me to. I will not do it. There is no world in which I watch a League of Legends TV show. Zero chance. 0% chance.
Really think you should.
I'm sure it's good. I don't even disagree with you guys. I'm sure it's good. 0% chance. I value my life more than Arcane. I'm sorry. I would. How long is it? It's 2 seasons now. Is that right?
Yeah, there's 2 seasons.
18 episodes total.
How many? Give it to me in hours.
So it'd be about 14 hours.
Okay.
Each episode's like 40 minutes long.
0% chance.
Anyway, you know what is really bad is fucking Dune Prophecy or whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called, but that Dune show is so fucking dog shit. Oh my god, dude! Just
and you know that there's going to be shooters for that. Like you just know there's going to be shooters for that bullshit.
I've seen a mix of both. It seems like most people hate it though.
I don't know. I fucking hate TV. Sorry, guys. This turned into a whole thing, but
no, that's fine.
Damn, dude. What's your favorite TV that's come out that is not Fallout 76 in the past like 2 years?
76.
I keep calling it that. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Do I even have a show that I like? I mean, I just watched Interior Chinatown. I think that just is like Fallout barely escapes the mediocre.
You like Succession, right?
Succession also is just above the line for me where it's like, okay,
Mad Men.
You escape. I mean, Mad Men's the best show. It's the best show that's ever been on television.
There it is. We found it, boys.
It came out a long time ago.
It did. It ended in like 2014, so it's been a long time.
Still the best.
The Last of Us also barely tips over the line into, okay, you guys did something. But again, the source material for The Last of Us is really strong. Like I think the game itself is strong enough writing to hold up. So
yeah, that's fair. Have you ever watched Ozark?
I don't like that show.
Wow,
it's fine.
Show.
It's fine. I think that to me is below the line. I'm sure that Breaking Bad is above the line, but I've never watched it.
It is pretty good. I don't know how it holds up, but I assume well.
The Sopranos, same. I've never watched it, but I'm sure it's like above the line.
I've never watched that either.
But like it's so funny to see people like get riled up about TV. The thing that Harrison Ford is in right now is like that Shrinking show that's on Apple TV, and I'm like, there's no way that this is good. There's just 0% chance that this is good. It's lit. It's lit like they live inside of the sun. I can't even imagine. Where's all the shadows, guys? What is this like shot on a backstage behind Harrison Ford's house? I mean, what the fuck are we doing? Is that the only way you guys could convince him to be in it? What are we doing here? Masters of the Air, just above. I was like, this is pretty good. It's the Band of Brothers new one, the one about them being in the planes.
Yeah,
it was there for a minute. I was like, this might actually be terrible, but they pulled it out by the end. I mean, I gotta hand it to them. That Castlevania show, the first season of that was pretty good.
Season 2 is even better. Maybe I'm thinking of the last season. There's more seasons of that.
Yeah, I watched all of it, and I think I was like, okay, all right. I mean, now at this point, I'm just watching this just to see what happens. But I thought season 1 was like really strong.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. TV, it's not for me. It's just not.
I mean, I can kind of see where you're coming from. My perspective on TV is probably like a lot better because I watch like one show a year, and it's usually like the best show that's come out that year. I don't really fuck with TV other than that. So
yeah, I guess I don't either. But I mean, I spend enough time seeing people talk about things. You know what I mean? That I go, okay, well, what if I gave this a shot, and then I'm mad that I even did. And that's like
it's like the time sink aspect of it too. I mean, like, what about Shogun?
Actually,
isn't that supposed to be like a banger?
Sorry, yes, there's 2 that I have that are more recent than Mad Men. I think if I was making a top 5 list of all time shows, I think that why can't I think of it? The Star Wars show.
Andor.
I think Andor would be in the top 5.
That is such a good call out. That is I want Merced to watch it so
I think Andor would be in my top 5 shows ever made.
It's so fucking good.
And then Shogun would be close. It would probably make the top 10 as well. Like, I think that's a
yeah. That's so funny. Yeah.
That's a really
Jerry
good show.
has been trying to get me to watch Shogun. And just the other day, Jerry in our group chat was like, he just randomly called out Andor as like the best Star Wars thing ever made. And I was like, I don't know why you just said that, but you're right. Like,
I don't know about ever
so
made,
random.
but it is a damn good show. I mean,
pretty fucking close.
I mean, it's really good.
Like, obviously in this, it's like the Portal conversation, right? It's like, it's only good because Star Wars existed before it, like to compare it to. But like, that being said, it's like the best Star Wars thing ever made.
Yeah.
Having that argument, like, it's...
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, it is... I think writing-wise, it's hard for it to be compared to any other Star Wars show because it's just unfair. Different. It's just unfair. Yeah. They're going for different things. But in terms of a Star Wars property, it's extremely strong. And the fact that season 2 is still like months away is hurting me, like, physically.
It's happening, though. That's all that matters, bro. It's happening.
Yeah. I need my mainstream communism.
I'll finally resub to Disney Plus, bro.
Yeah, actually, maybe I would too. But, any other last thoughts about the Game Awards? Because we've gone way off at this point.
You should watch Penguin.
Nah.
Okay, that's okay. All right, back to the Game Awards.
Actually, I might, because I really like Colin Farrell, so I think I'd give it a shot.
He kills it.
I think I'll give it a shot. I will, because I and
then that chick, Chris, I don't even know how to say her last name, Melody or whatever.
Yeah. I hear she's really. That's actually the thing that everybody's been talking about is how good she is. So I think I will give that a shot.
But for Game Awards, I think. How'd you feel about? Did we even bring up Mafia, the new one?
Dude, we didn't. Oh my god, Chandler, Mafia.
Are you excited?
We didn't.
About that?
I am really excited about that. Yeah,
I really like the direction they seem to be going.
I think they're going. I think they're basically going back to the game style of Mafia 1, and they did that remake not that long ago of Mafia 1, which is a really good game. So I think they're basically going to go back to away from the open world design of 3 and back to the linear feeling of 1, which I think is just better. Because 2 was that weird middle ground that a lot of people really fucking hated. I like Mafia 2 a lot. I think that game needs a remake because I tried to play the remaster version and it was like a little weird. But I think Mafia 2 is the best game of the series if you played them as they were coming out. But I couldn't make it through 3. It was very open world checklist type design, and which is a shame because I hear the way 3 wraps up the stories of 2 in particular. Like, there are characters from the Mafia 2 game in 3, and they like tie a bow on that story in a way that I think is really interesting. So yeah, I think it's crazy how good video games just look now, and we're all just dead to it. You know, like that game looks insanely good, and
I know. And it's like, it's one of those things where I think we've kind of talked about this before, but I can't wait because I feel like I've been in this headspace before where I'm like, I just can't believe how good games look across the board. And then we fast forward 5 years.
Yeah.
And I look back and I'm like, damn, they looked like that. And I know that constantly happens with games, but now we're hitting such a high level of fidelity that it's like, what are games going to look like in 5 years from now?
And
like,
I think it's just cool
shit.
that like games focus on different things, right? So it's like
true.
think about the games that we're thinking about this year that came out. Like if I just pop open that Google Doc really quick and look through like games that I think are really strong overall this year, and I think about the ones that like really got me in terms of visuals, like they're all for different reasons, right? Like think about like Black Myth Wukong, like visual design wise, that game is insanely good looking, and you're kind of just like, holy fuck, bro! Like how, like they're nailing it in a way that stands out uniquely. I mean, like texture wise, visually, like everything on that game is just really strong. And then you have something like Kunitsugami, which I think has like insanely beautiful like direction in terms of art design and stuff like that. So I it's kind of just, it feels like this is like in terms of visuals one of the best times to be playing video games. I don't know. Like
I completely agree.
Like they're just everybody's doing their own thing. Even if they're going for realism, it's like a version of realism that isn't like totally fucked up. You know, like they're not like really going, like I feel like the Mafia thing is closer to like a kind of photorealism thing, but even then it's not like.
Well, it's just like my recent example of kind of what you're touching on, I think, was Dragon Age, where I really didn't expect high fidelity and quality from that. And looking at the trailers, I'm like, oh, they clearly went for more style as to more fidelity. And then I played it and I'm like, this game looks and runs fucking phenomenal. What the fuck?
I was just playing.
I really have such a baseline of quality that's like
totally.
I think with all the tricks that we have now in terms of all the things that we can do visually with games, it seems like style is going to be king over just doing this like photorealistic stuff now. Because I mean, like think like the world is your fucking oyster in terms of creativity and imagination now. It's like, of course you want to do something that's more stylistic because it's going to make you stand out 10 million times more than just making like, hey, let's make a, I don't know, FPS horror shooter that's completely fucking realistic. It's like, okay,
totally.
I mean,
No, you're right.
Like, I get it.
Yeah, like even look at Silent Hill 2, like what little I've seen about that. It's got a realism-ish, but it really has an art style. Like it leans into a direction, and I think it looks really good.
That game will blow you the fuck away, bro. Like there are times where I will just turn off my flashlight because I'm in like a certain space just to see how the lighting is interacting with the environment, and it is beautiful.
I do that constantly in Stalker. I'm like,
like,
what's happening here? Like,
yeah.
I think y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I think a similar thing could probably be said about Alan Wake 2. It's like hyper realistic, but it has a style to it that is immaculate.
Alan Wake 2 is insane.
Alan Wake 2 might still be the best looking game I've ever seen. Like still,
it fucking runs like it. That's for sure.
I mean, it is. It might be like the way that game looks. Even now in my head, I'm just like, does anything beat
you're
this?
Right.
I mean,
because I just started playing it to get into the DLC, and it is fucking still just absolutely beautiful.
I need
beautiful.
I bought
walking
that
through
DLC.
the town again. Oh my fuck, dude, it's so good.
Yeah, the town, and then the thing that got me is the way they use like the neon lighting and the like different lighting sources in general
Alan's world.
When you're in Alan's world, and it's like the signs, the different signs of the rain, the puddles, car lights, like all the different shit. There's just something about they have managed to get almost everything right about the visual look of that game in a way that. Yeah, still, I haven't played anything that I think wows me as much as that.
Did you see the bit of the Game Awards where he's on stage and it's black and white? Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
really
good.
Love. I think Sam Lake is like the gaming world's
such a treasure. Yeah.
Like right now he is the guy. Like he seems really nice. Like he seems like the guy that if you bumped into him at an airport or something and wanted to talk, he would be so happy to talk with you. Like, just really quick, you know, like I don't want to waste your time, but I'm such a big fan. He would probably be so gracious about it. I really like that. He's in on the joke. He's in on the joke for
Mhm.
sure. Yeah.
I do have one more thing.
Okay.
I think is the last thing that I think was pretty cool.
Perfect.
Was Borderlands 4. I thought that looked amazing.
I think Chandler's not going to have the
All
same
right,
thoughts as
everybody.
us,
Thanks
but-
for listening. all right.
Yeah,
Talk about
I agree,
Borderlands
Merced.
4.
I think
was
it looked
turned-
fucking
he was
fun.
turned off by all the black characters that we have now.
I was.
Oh my god,
Here's
Trump's America.
You know
dude.
what's so funny about that joke is I don't even have anything to say because I literally this was the part where I was fast forwarding. I skipped it. As soon as I saw Randy Pitchford
Oh.
on stage,
Yeah,
and I skipped it. I was like, nope. Get out of here, you fuck. Like,
You might be pleasantly surprised because I was watching it and I'm not like a giant Borderlands fan at all, but watching it I was like, I'm 100% on board. This looks fucking awesome.
all right, talk about it while I'm typing Borderlands 4 into a YouTube bar right now.
In terms of like talking about it, like what can I say to like exemplify what makes it stand out? It's not really. I mean, like it is Borderlands at its core. It is very clearly like, action with style. But I mean, just watching it, it seems as though they're attempting to add in a lot more I don't know, enough differentiation in terms of like moment to moment action.
It didn't look
it
like we
makes
were
it
going to
seem
be
like a
doing
fresh
the same
experience.
things. Yep.
But yeah, I wouldn't be able to like really put into words how it exemplifies that. It just
I think
awesome
that
and
was
it left a
really
good
well said
impression
right
on me.
there. Yeah, I think that was well said that it doesn't just look like the same things you were doing with Siren and whatever the other fucking classes are like. They kind of have shticks that they reuse and like improve on, and this looked like I couldn't even tell what classes I was looking at. Like there was just so much fucking different shit happening that I'm used to seeing. It was like, okay, yeah.
I'm
Changing
sorry,
it up.
guys. I mean, I think
he'll be playing it with us anyway in 2025.
Yeah, I know.
So
I honestly, I mean, maybe, but I playing Borderlands 3 the last time we tried to do that was like a wake up call for me that I was like, what am I doing with my life? I mean, I just fucking hated it.
Oh, really? I enjoyed it a lot.
I just
Yeah, I had
hated
fun
it
too.
so much. I had no fun at any point. I thought it was so the same game again that I was just like, I cannot do this anymore. I please anything else. Let's all go play Path of Exile 2, which by the way is almost the same game again as all those other fucking
That's
games.
what I was just about to say. Is I think you're just hitting the nail that it's just not for you. Like if you like a game, you'll play it again on the sequel. You know what I mean? So clearly, Borderlands just isn't your thing.
Well,
and
it
I
is.
think that's fine,
It has worn out its welcome so much. I mean, I was the biggest Borderlands 1
Well,
fan.
if you loved it, you wouldn't feel that way.
But like
is
there
what
was
I'm
something. Well, I think it's just that they have not figured out how to iterate on that formula in a way that is
I
interesting.
disagree.
I mean, I
think
just
3 was the first time they really did that. I
Borderlands
think 2
1
they didn't, and 3 they did.
Borderlands 1 was like a 10 out of 10 game. I mean, and then Borderlands 2 was just a step down. I mean, because it
Disagree.
was more. It was just more again. And
It was better.
now they're getting to a point where it's like, guys, what are we doing? I mean, let's figure something else out.
And this is what I'm trying to tell you, Chandler. 2 is better than 1. 3 is better than 2. Pre-sequel is a mistake. So
I think I agree. I agree with Chandler in the aspect that I don't think 2 differentiates itself from 1 enough.
Fair.
Because I remember having the exact same feeling when I played 1. I played the fucking shit out of 1.
Right. Yes.
And then going into Borderlands 2, whenever it released, I was insanely excited and then subsequently insanely disappointed because it was like, it's the same. It's literally the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
So I understand that at least.
Yeah.
But
And I do agree.
maybe it's time. I don't know if it's time or what, but enough time probably passed where I played Borderlands 3 and I was like, this is genuinely like solid. Like,
this is the same
solid
problem that
experience.
Diablo has, by the way, where I think that the reason that each Diablo game doesn't quite hit the same way as whichever one was your favorite is because it doesn't feel like they have recaptured what that feeling was when you played that whatever the first one you really liked was. You know what I mean? Like for me, Diablo 2, then Diablo 3 was a step in the wrong direction. And I feel like Diablo 4, at first I was like, okay, it feels like they're getting back to it. But even then, in the end, it was kind of just like they have not yet figured out what keeps people coming back to these games. I feel the same about Borderlands. I think in general, the genre has some soul searching to do. And by the way, they're pretty different games, right? Diablo and Borderlands in a direct, the way you interact with them is different. The framework is the same though. Go to a zone, get quests, do the quests, get some loot, do the thing.
Get
And
stronger. Yeah.
Destiny, similar, right? A bit different, but similar. And they've had the same issue. How do we keep bringing people back and doing this rinse and repeat thing over again? And there's not really an easy way to answer that. And I think on some level, Crossley's right in that like your brain is just wired. Some, people like different things. Some people enjoy this kind of just the gameplay loop is satisfying, right?
Yes.
I need a little bit more than what Borderlands has been giving me, and Destiny I think is a bit closer to what I like. Diablo kind of in between. I was okay with it, but I think the thing that really kills me about Borderlands is they haven't really figured out their stride in the humor thing again. I mean, they try, they keep trying, and they're not getting it. I think 2 was, in terms of probably the humor of the games, maybe the closest writing wise. 1, it was novel at the time. You're like, even if this isn't that funny, it's at least cute that it's different.
Yeah, right.
TK Baja was very funny.
Dude,
totally agreed. Totally agreed. By the way, best character.
Probably one of the most impactful moments in gaming history.
They really, I agree. They really ran the Handsome Jack thing into the ground, I think.
Do y'all know about the TK Baja moment in Borderlands 2?
Yes, I was gonna say
I think based.
That was really good. Yeah. I think 2 was probably their best attempt in the right direction. I think if you didn't play 1 and you just played 2, it would be far and away the best game.
And that's the thing, is like, it's such a good sequel. It's like, if you want more of Borderlands 1, here it is. And then 3 is like, oh, here's something different and a better iteration of what we've done before, in my opinion. I know you don't feel that way, Chandler, but I was thoroughly impressed by Borderlands 3, like almost every step of the way. From the map to the gun design to how it feels. Like I don't know. Feels like a level up for me personally.
I'll give it a shot. How about that? How's that? I'll give are we 4? Is this 4 now?
Yeah, we're on 4, baby.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about Tiny Tina.
I promise to give it a try, and we can all move on with our lives.
I mean, other than that, I think we had the Astrobot upset. The greatest game. I have to buy it now. This has cemented my.
Hey, we're gonna have to come to a consensus on a top 10 list for the 3 of us, and the more that we've all played the same games, the more interesting that discussion will be. So that's all I'll say.
I feel like right now, Metaphor and Astrobot have to be done by the time we're at the end of January for me. Just to have a good enough discussion about everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything.
Rebirth.
I feel like I'm the one that's missing. That's not gonna happen.
You said it would happen, dude. End of January. You lied to me.
On what day?
When does it come
out?
You
want me to do like an 80-hour game in like 6 days?
You literally said we would ask Chandler to postpone. You fucking lied to me.
I don't remember actually saying that.
I'm not gaslighting. You actually did.
Let me.
But
see.
I mean, heat of the moment. It's okay.
He'd had a few too many. When does it come out?
We were hyped about the PC release.
When
January.
But what day in January?
The end of January.
Oh my god, guys!
It's literally January 23rd is whenever it comes out.
Ah, Jesus.
I would have to fucking blitz.
Yeah, you would, and
30% off.
It wouldn't even be me playing the game. I would come out of the end of that tunnel.
You would actually be worse off.
So I would. I would.
Yeah.
You do not want me to do that.
Life.
You would be very unhappy. I'll go back and look. Let's see. What's our best guess on when we did the 2023 one?
I don't know. 2023 was like probably mid-January.
Last month? I don't know.
Mid-January?
The 29th
that makes
of January.
Sense to me.
29th.
Oh shit.
That's actually when I
6
uploaded
days
it. So let me see. Let me see what day of the week that was, and I can tell you when we probably recorded it. The 29th is a Monday, so we probably recorded it on the 28th or 27th. So yeah.
Just keep it on the 29th. Keep it on the 29th, and then Rebirth will possibly be my game of the year last year for 2026.
It depends.
For 2025.
It depends on when because at this point we're probably looking at like if we did the same weekend in January, it'd be the 25th or 26th. Or the weekend before is the 18th or 19th. So we'll have to see what everybody's schedule is like. But but yeah, I mean,
but Metaphor and Astrobot for certain. But I feel like I feel like I'm the one that is missing games. I don't think that y'all have. I don't think there are games that I've played that y'all have not played. I don't think that has.
I mean, the big one for me, Silent. So we can just go over this real quick and then we'll wrap up. The things I'm intending to do. I'm finishing Dragon Age. I've already committed at this point. I am finishing Stalker 2. And then I'm going to play Silent Hill 2 for sure. And then that's where it starts to get tough. There's a bunch of indie games I want to play. Mouthwashing. I should try to finish Tactical Breach Wizards if I can.
No idea what those are.
Crow Country, maybe. I know you played that, Merced. I should really play that. And then that's basically it. Oh, Indiana Jones, I guess. Sorry. I keep hearing that that game is fucking insane. I mean, I need to know.
I want to play it. I'm just not in a rush. That's all. But yeah, I hear you.
I'm pretty sure that game is probably like 16 hours max. I'll beat it by the time.
I think so.
Oh, okay. So, I don't know why I was thinking like 30.
No, I think
I got that in my head.
I think I saw the statistic that it was like 15 to 20 if you're fucking around.
That's
you could
crazy.
could do it in less if you just do the story stuff. But there's a lot of side content in that game, surprisingly.
That's like all of Arcane.
Exactly, brother. You could be spending your time more wisely than watching bullshit ass anime. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll debate.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, other than just a few stragglers, it seems like we nail this down by the time January is here.
Yep. Everybody will already have their game of the year lists out, so we can call them stupid or whatever. I don't know.
Hell yes.
Perfect.
All right, guys.
I guess you know it's kind of crazy. Persona 3 Reload kind of got shafted, huh? By Atlas just being like, "Here's Metaphor."
I mean, it's a remake. It's the same game, like basically exactly.
Literally,
except they took some stuff out actually from Fez. So I mean,
that's like a remaster too. It's not even like a remake like Silent Hill 2. It's like just a fucking. I mean, they did. Yeah, that's not true. They did redo it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's like,
It feels. Yeah, I don't see how that would have been even in the running. Everybody already knew what to expect with that. So,
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it is kind of funny though. Metaphor definitely. I mean, compared to all Atlas games, in my mind, Metaphor is the game. I mean, if you are going to finish one Atlas game, it should be Metaphor at this point. I mean, it is.
Wait, can I fucking Metaphor?
Play the game and find out, dude. Find out, bro. Find
Disgusting.
out. There's actually, you know what's fucked up? There, a lot of people are mad about this. It's clear that there is a romance subplot at some point that they had kind of written in because of the way some characters talk with you, but there's no dating like in the Persona games. So, which is extra funny to me because now in Metaphor, everyone is clearly adults. And in Persona, they're all kids, but you get to date them. Yeah. I think it's really weird that they chose Atlas, the one game where you could date consenting adults of age. They choose to say no. Okay, but whatever. Yeah, it is very funny. But there is the way a character responds to you during their arc. It seems like they wrote in a character who is intended to be the canonical love interest almost. Like there is something there,
the prince,
that seems like you okay, this is the character that if there was like a part 2 to this game, they'd be like, and then these characters got married and had kids, you know what I mean? Like it would be like that. So I'm excited to see what you guys think about that. I don't know.
I am not gonna lie, I'm really sad that you just told me there's not a romance aspect, but I'll get over it.
Yeah, that's basically what everybody has said, including me. And then by the end of the game, I was like, I don't even care anymore. Like, there's a lot, but yeah. What a good game! What a fucking good game! All right, let's go play. I want to eat and play some Helldivers. That's where my head's
I need to get water.
Now. So thirsty. All right, thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
Peace.